Hello, Lolo here. I am going to be doing a casual video here just to give you some content while I'm out because I'm sure you're dying for more content of mine. But I just figured I'd give you something while I'm on vacation. And since it's New Year, I figure we'll do something a little bit out of the ordinary. And one of the things that I put for a vote was for me to do ranking of stuff. So basically, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking a look and kind of going through my stream stuff and mostly the ranking series of streams and kind of see how I kind of feel about these. I am doing this. This is going to be a more casual thing. I'm currently encoding a lore video that is going up. It is actually, to be specific, it is December 29th as I do this. I think that's what my watch is saying. Yeah, 29th. I am just doing this very casually, so don't expect any miracles here. I am basically just saved a bunch of screenshots of some YouTube videos I took that have kind of shown the evolution of my stream setup and how we did the ranking throughout the years. And I'm just going to kind of go through them and kind of give my thoughts on each of these eras. So, why don't we start? So, this first one. Let's see. According to that YouTube thing, January 23rd, 2016. This is one of the first streams I ever did. January 23rd, 2016 at 4:23 p.m. It looks like. Yeah. This layout is early, to say the least. Putting the time on there is kind of interesting. I'd be kind of curious to go back about doing that. Also, that thing on the side, I do kind of like how much it shows there, of like especially the song that's playing. Something about that's nice, but yeah, this layout is definitely early. You do have a good shot of everything that's going on. Those streams were pretty early. I'm pretty sure I was using a pretty crappy mic then. Yeah. God, just streaming random Famicom Disk System games. I believe this is right around the time. So my first bit of content was actually doing LPs, and I believe I started in August of 2015. First LP was Let's Play Legend of Zelda Randomized. There's no real reason to go through that, as I mean, it's just footage of the game. That kind of era was interesting. The LP, when I was trying to do LPs, I do kind of like how like actual edited and how well I was able to put those together. But yeah, editing videos is just such a nightmare. So I didn't really just stopped wanting to do it after a while. And yeah, just kind of went to streaming because people were starting to do it. I think this was right when Hitbox was kind of actually competing with Twitch at that point. It didn't completely die off like it is now, and Twitch had a pretty gnarly delay, if I remember correctly, around this time. Yeah, I think I was doing. I couldn't remember if I was just Hitbox or Twitch at this point, but yeah, those were some interesting times. Doing games like Axlay and the first of the Famicom Detective Club series. It was an interesting time. Very casual and kind of miss them, but at the same time, I am very happy where I am now. So let's move on to the next one. Oh, yes. This layout, I do kind of, there's something about this layout I really like. Especially how everything is boxed in together. You still have a pretty big view of the middle. Also, I do kind of like the having a little box there showing off what exactly the stream is. Kind of also showing the little picture of the Lola de Puzzlos on at the DJ booth. I do kind of like that. Chat box is nice and big. That layout showing all my things. Something very, very clean, not quite clean, but it is. I do like this layout actually. I kind of wish that I didn't have as much stuff that I could do. That I could just do that, and the Problem is this is only going to work for 4:3. If I remember correctly, I had layouts for 4:3, 16 by 9, and also since I use one, a 21 by 9, because some games that I did play did have 21 by 9 support. I wasn't just doing retro games. And also just doing Live a Live. I'm kind of dreading when I do that game in Retro and Rhapsody. It's a fascinating game, but boy, howdy, does it make you burn out real quickly. Yeah, and it's just a more pre-Retro Rank Rhapsody or Rank of Shmups kind of era. Man, I do kind of wish, I do kind of miss those days of just playing whatever the hell I wanted, but I do like the structure. I do feel that it gives something interesting. I really don't know what else to say. I do like the layout. Discord could be a little smaller, but also having the background switch in the back, that was also kind of neat. But yeah, I kind of, if I could do that nowadays, I kind of wish I could. But I just have too much stuff that would prevent that from looking well. So I guess let's move on to our next one. Yes, the very first Ranking of Shmups episode. Taking a look at Sorcerer Striker, it looks like. And yeah, this I can definitely tell this is during the restream era because I just remember that voice box there. Kind of an evolution of our last layout. I do like that rather than having the Eggerland brick, the kind of more Dragon Questy kind of window does look a little bit better. I don't know how I feel about that green. Also, its background's not that great. But yes, pretty clean layout, and I do kind of like this, just like the last one. Although I do kind of like the organization of my current streams. Yeah, Ranking of Shmups, had not even having the I think we didn't even have the Google sheet yet. It was just on the side. We were just mostly keeping track of like the top 10, and that would just always be shown. Also, we were keeping track of the OSTs at the time. So not just ranking the games, but also the soundtracks. Kind of interesting, but also way too fiddly and took way too much time. Going back onto just doing rank one by one. This series was I'm not gonna lie, it was very heavily influenced by the Ranking of Fighter series that Giant Bomb does. And it looks like I was streaming it there too. Yeah, these just doing one kind of set thing. It was neat to do it for a while, but I do kind of like having a whole range of things. So if I don't feel like doing an RPG, I can just do whatever I want. Doesn't beat and not necessarily tied to a genre, which is nice. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about this one. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, let's see. This is older, but yeah, this is when I was testing out. I think it was, I can't remember if it was Stream Elements or what thing I was using for this. This was neat because I did like, and I wish Streamlabs had something like this. It had a ticker at the bottom, so like the news ticker, like somewhere was keeping the events. Well, looks like the lore video's done. Yeah, I like just having that there, and I thought it was kind of neat. Not kind of overlay the kind of tried to have the things just kind of overlap each other. I like the concept of this, but it never looked as good as anything else. It was just things would just get covered up real easily. Even if a majority of the stuff I was looking at was 4x3, just things got covered up a lot. So yeah, that I don't think that worked as well. This actually might be my least favorite of the overlays that I've had so far. Also, I think I don't even know if I had the chick list at this point. But anyway, let's move on. Yes. Didn't really have any. I think this was at this point that I had my major change in the overlay to kind of go into what I have now. Also, you can see that this is when I had started using stream avatars at this point. overall, I do kind of like how like I was trying to go for a whole RPG-ish kind of feel for this. I think at this point, well, it's the final, so I had just started to realize what Retro Rank Rhapsody would be. So that was nice. Also, I see at the bottom right, I started to have the billboard there, where not a whole lot of people use that anymore, or I haven't had any new additions lately. But yeah, I do like this. I mean, this layout's pretty close to what I had now, and I do like that it kind of listed what each thing is. Um, I don't know. I always kind of like that. Also, the kind of player thing was kind of cute. Um, so yeah, that is that layout. So let's also to go back to the stream avatars thing. I do kind of like I miss having the character, just the individual characters at the bottom. There was something a little bit more unique about each one. Like with the one that I have now, everyone it's all mostly the same base. Where if you just change the clothes on it, I do kind of miss the whole um completely different things that people could have on them on their avatars. Maybe I'll have to look into that in the future. Maybe I should upgrade the one of the things for the third season of Retro and Rhapsody. Maybe at a halfway point, I should look into a new avatar system. But yeah, that'll be future stuff. So let's move on to Retro and Rhapsody. Episode 11. Looks like we're playing Metroid. At this point, still had the old avatar system. Pretty much the same as the last layout, although it is colored a little bit more. Green for the kind of the bottom area, red for the actual thing, and blue for the things on the side. I kind of, yeah. I mean, it's mostly the same layout. I definitely had to check the list at this point. At this point, we were doing the whole letter grading thing, which took forever to do. I kind of liked what it was going for, but yeah, it just didn't feel well. Yeah. So I guess this is yeah, I guess this is an okay layout. Also nice energy. Anyway, let's move on. Okay. Let's see. This had been after the I believe this would not be this is in the middle of the first season. Or the second part of the second half of the first season. At this point I kind of made everything on the layout scale up a little bit so that it didn't take as much space, or that the text was not taking as much space, so I could have more information on everything. Also, I had the really long stream avatars layout, which thanks to my 21 by 9, the 21 by 9 monitor that I have, I can actually lay that out real well. That would not last because I forgot how I set that up, but I know it was a pain in the ass, and if I change the window at all size on accident, it would just cause a whole bunch of issues. But yeah, I think at this point I had stopped using the letter grading. I can't remember if I was actually at the charm point, but I do know that yeah, I think it was like dislike. I think it was at this point. Probably actually should have checked that, but sorry, I was busy, so I was just able to take these screenshots. So yeah, I kind of like the previous layout a little bit better in terms of, or at least in hindsight, I liked having listed what everything is. It looks, because this you don't tell what half these windows are. Like I can't tell what that. I believe that thing underneath the chat bot or the Discord thing. I think that was a song. Like if I had music playing, that's what it would show. That would be the case. Also, I think at this point is where I believe this is the first one that had the new avatar system. So yeah, that was good. Also, I believe at this point, this is post the point where I introduced the avatars. So going on to like the thumbnails, I kind of wish that I'd done a little bit more with kind of introducing what the avatars are supposed to be. Rather than just oh hey, here's a random icon on the thumbnail. So yeah, that is it's good, but yeah, I still kind of miss that background. But 2-bit do good work. So what do we got next? This is post season 2. This is pretty much what the layout that we have now. I really miss having the controller thing there. When I changed my computer, one of the things I forgot to back up was the controller, and I really don't feel like making that from scratch. But I might have to do that in the future. Um, yeah, I just really like this layout. There really isn't a whole lot that I'd change with this because season 3 is coming up. We'll be doing that in May, so this is around the time that I'm starting to think of things to add. I really can't add much. Maybe to tell me more, I might break that out into like platform and all that, but it's still pretty good the way it is. Also, at this point, when I had that, I had the low written description after thing. I really didn't. I kind of like that, but at the same time, it took away from saying, "Oh, hey, here's the year" and all that. So I like the way I'm doing it now. I think actually the only change from the halfway point of the season was rather than saying "What's the game," it was just "What's this?" Because once we started to do Media Delta, I kind of needed to do that. And yeah, the background that Tubit did was fantastic. I like having the little mini TV that has the stream on it. I always think that's a cute touch. Um, so yeah, um, that's what this was. I mean, I guess. So do I have another one? Nope. I think that's it. Because yeah, this is pretty much what we have now. Thinking back on, yeah, if I were to do just a ranking, it would just be I think it's just been getting better as it's going on. The only thing is, I think the era in which I didn't have any text to indicate what the boxes are was like the worst. Like, well, it wasn't the worst layout. The worst layout I think was when I just had like the piecemeal thing that like Stream Elements did. I didn't like that. At least definitely going back. Um, so yeah, there is my ranking of shmups and retro rank Rhapsody. The only thing I could say going forward that I have is I really need to build out the list of charms more, especially for Media Delta stuff. And also I need to figure out just how to get like I think now that it took out that whether or not the original media is better or worse thing, I think that kind of made it look a little bit better, but still I do need to build out a list of charms for the media. Also add some more genres because I mean we didn't have comedy in it because I didn't even really think of that we were going to be doing comedies. So yeah, there's a quick little video on what I thought of all the retro ranking layouts have looked like. So I guess that'll do it. Let's see. That's still about 17 minutes, so I mean it's not full stream, but it's something. And oh well. Yeah, to give use this time to use backlog if you need that, or listen to Media Delta. Go do that if you're looking for more content. Anyway, I'm off. So later.